sitting at 19-8. As expected, Queen of Pain crushing the bottom lane for S4, 19-10. And even the offlane Darkseer of Zai sitting towards the top of the CS charts, 15-1. So, dare I say it, gods, they are winning 2 lanes convincingly. And the third, they're getting more than you would normally expect out of a Darkseer offlane, thanks to Puppey's support.
Absolutely. This is where this Queen of Pain Shadow Fiend opening is so strong. I think Secret kind of took advantage of the fact that they know they like to run weak laning heroes in the offlane for Yao. Yao doesn't get the kind of dual lane support that a lot of offlaners get this tournament. He's normally down there by himself on an Earthshaker, on a Tusk, on a Clockwork, and Secret's plan was just to
early skirmish.
win the lane.
Here we go. Could be the first blood. Arteezy looking for the openings here. There is a Grave available, and he's going to commit onto maybe. He finds him. Puppey protecting the Shadow Fiend, and now MMY the trade. The chase goes on, and what do you know? A surge forward. He does get glimpsed back. Xiao8 will survive, but mid lane left in shambles. A 2-for-0, and on top of the early creep advantage, Secret are already in full control of this game.
Absolutely. This is close to 3 lanes won. I guess the top lane's still a bit of a stalemate and just a draw between the Darkseer and the Gyrocopter, both of which are farming. But this is going to be tricky. This is not like LGD have a lot of easy ways to turn this game around. Around the time Gyro hits level 7, you can start involving him in fights around the top rune, around the mid lane as needed. But it's not an easy hero to roam with unless you're also bringing the Earthshaker. At that point, LGD are forced to 5-man much earlier than they'd like to, and Secret will just say, well, you want a 5-man, we're going to play the economy game and just out-farm you.
And if you 5-man into Secret once they get their core items, that can easily work against you. You've got the early mech likely coming out here for Zai, maybe Arteezy the one to pick it up, but either way, they'll have some team fight in short order. And Secret keep the lane pressured mid lane. There is aggression here. Fissure coming in, Avatos, they finally get a kill. Kuroki not able to save Arteezy. That was much needed. Nice rotation from Yao, and considering how tough this bottom lane is, might as well look for the plays elsewhere. Yeah. There was a rating observer ward in the areas. We're going to see a battle of D wards here, but that hill ward about to expire. It's already done its work, and well, they might get the extra 50 gold out of this. Nope, not even that. Kuro says no.
Denied. But yeah, that's the kind of place Yao likes to make in general, and it's just unfortunately at the cost of, like, there's been a solo hero getting complete free farm. Queen of Pain topping the CS charts by a big margin, so we'll see what LGD's next move is going to be. But Yao's going to want to keep on getting involved, I feel. He doesn't want to just sit idly leeching experience in this bottom lane.
You mentioned the Gyrocopter moving, and maybe we don't normally see it from Sylar's, the thing. We've seen it more with Maybe. It definitely feels like with the introduction of Maybe to LGD that Sylar he's no longer really the one-position player. Maybe much more reminiscent of how Arteezy was on EG, where he might have gone mid at times and even play like the iconic solo mid heroes or dual lane mid heroes, but was really the carry player for EG. And it feels like maybe he's taken over that role, which is where you'd like to see that aggressive style of Gyrocopter this game. Get Sylar involved early, go for the smoke ganks, maybe give a support the lane top, but it's tough to do that when you see the constant pressure. And Arteezy, he's found the stacks, not only Xiao8, but also a gigantic pile of creeps. This is something LGD have to protect.
Yeah.
This is way too much gold to give away. And they are moving in. With the call down onto Arteezy, they want to go, but Zai's able to zone him back. The Raze will miss. Fissure blocking off a few. They try to isolate Kuro, but they can't bring him down. The heal is enough. He survives. One last range creep auto attack. Can't get the job done. There's your earn charge. He
LGD
will
need
survive.
They're
5-manning their own neutrals, and they need it, but it's too late. Arteezy's already stolen half of them, and he's going to get more. Only 2 big creeps survive the slaughter. They need Arteezy. Ava, toss, Fissure, they get the kill. S4 even blinks into it, but the Queen of Pain ult to turn it. Maybe. Neutral's not poking him. He barely makes his way out of this one. And Sylar does find S4 on the backside. They get the 2 fattest cores on Secret. They do miss most of the neutral kit, but at least get some experience. That was definitely a salvage for LGD out of what looked like a terrible situation.
Absolutely, and you can't even, like, that's the right play to go for Secret. Arteezy in the front lanes, if they get the Grave off, that doesn't go as one-sided as it kind of ended up going in LGD's favor. It was very much the burst damage of LGD just catching Puppey a little bit by surprise and a rare miss on the Grave. Arteezy was, I think, banking on having it to back him up there, and
if he gets Grave there, they get slaughtered, honestly.
He can continue to, like, his raises were coming up any second, so during that Grave, he's throwing 2-3 raises, and LGD are losing heroes.
Well, LGD, this game could have snowballed totally out of control, but they are able to stay in it with that fight, and they make it a pretty close game. 1,000 gold lead for Secret, only about a 1250 experience lead, and so much of the game plan is going to hinge on maybe. What's the item build here? For now, he picks up the completed treads, it looks like, bringing out the magic wand as well for MMY in short order. But does he skip the blink at this point? There's a lot of squishy targets, but they're going to get tankier quickly. The Shadow Fiend normally getting some plus stats items early, and potentially we even see S4 go for that early BKB or Ags, and at which point the blink could backfire. If you don't get those kills, you may not really get much value out of it.
Now, TZ already committed to the Yoga Club, so he'll be rushing BKB with Zai being able to go for the mech. And as you said, they're looking for early stats, early just survivability, and that's where a Blink Dagger on Tiny will kind of come maybe at a time where it's not going to be able to get the easy kills that you'd hope for.
He's not snowballing by any means, but let's go. Secret, their turn to move. They smoke up, Arteezy leading the way, and they think about heading straight towards the bottom lane. Instead, they're going to wrap around here, moving towards the Roshan pit. May try to get a ward up. Yao very low HP, and should he go down, that is the majority of their strong tower defense gone. Just the Ancients warded for now.
Okay.
We've seen a lot of teams forget about the Ancients. There was a couple of games that come to mind. Secret was playing one game where Arteezy was Templar Assassin, the Dire side, farmed a quad stack with a double damager, and suddenly was totally out of control. I believe that was the game where he had an Aegis and got a triple kill after respawning with like a single Deso Daedalus crit. So a couple Bristleback games as well. Ancients are definitely something you want to keep an eye on here. And it might seem like a big commitment using the smoke for that, but considering there's a Tiny Wisp and a Gyrocopter in this game, may allow Secret to pull ahead if they're just looking to play the farm game here.
And also the fact they didn't put the ward above the Roche pit on that big cliff means they don't really care about pushing this bottom tier 1 tower, because they could have easily put that ward down and used that vision advantage over the trees, over the bottom tier 1 to apply pressure down here, but Puppey even had 2 wards, so he could have blocked the Ancients and warded. It says, nope, we don't care about it. We're going to play our game, sit back, wait till we get our items, and then use our item advantage to be able to take down towers with an Orchid on Queen of Pain, with a BKB on SF. They're not going to rush things.
It's LGD's turn to smoke. They bypass the double damager, and there's no Radiant Vision of it, so they could have gone for it, but they didn't realize. As Zai narrowly misses breaking the smoke, he is going to, but it's in an awkward position. Fissure comes through. He's on the right side of it, but doesn't matter. Too much burst damage. Meanwhile, mid lane, MMY's Io was picked off by Arteezy as the trade.
Yeah, they went in on
the Witch Doctor. Yeah. So it's 2 for 1.
Io Tiny killed Witch Doctor. Queen of Pain TP'd in and got a counter kill.
They want Arteezy. Emma maybe just jumping forward. He's going to get the toss back into Sylar. That's
combo.
Not where you want to be if you're a Shadow Fiend. Oh, into his waiting arms. A hail of rockets will end Arteezy. LGD showing some excellent aggression here and making up for a slow farming laning stage with some really nice movements here at the 11-minute mark.
Yeah, kills on Shadow Fiend especially valuable. He's topping the net worth chart well over about 1,000 net worth ahead of the Gyrocopter and even more ahead of the Tiny of Maybe. So important kills going LGD's way.
Yeah, these are farmed cores. You get those kills early, and it really does equalize things. They TP
bottom.
in the gyro. They're going to relocate forward, maybe, finding the Avatar directly up and down, but there's a grave from Kuro, from Puppey to try and turn this. Now the death ward from Kuro driving them back. LGD forced to disengage. They may leave the Tiny here. Now they're just going to back off towards mid and go farming. Still they chase on the Puppey. They know the Grave's on cooldown. They might be able to make a play here. The Rocket Barrage coming through. He can't get out. Fissure cuts off any chance at retreat, but wasn't even needed in the end. LGD taking the fight to Secret, who meanwhile are pushing top with Zai, it looks like. Seems like Secret are waiting on their first round of key items at this point. The mech on Zai about to come out. That's the type of item that can turn a fight like that one we just saw bottom.
This is LGD willing to commit as many heroes as possible to make sure fights and just early objectives kind of go their way. In this case, it's just been a few kills here or there. The Disruptor glimpse back on Shadow Fiend there as he TP'd in, very crucial. But for Secret, they're much more about splitting their resources, getting farm on all 5 of their heroes. They're known for having really farm supports. In this case, it was the Darkseer pushing a tier 1 tower in the off lane, working towards his mech. And Secret aren't going to be too worried about losing a Dazzle bottom there when it's LGD 5-manning and they're getting stuff elsewhere on the map.
This bottom lane looks a little dangerous. No TP on Kuro. S4 doesn't want to leave him alone to the Wolves. And now out the Courier flies. It is bringing a TP, so he'll have that option. They even have to rotate a third hero in Puppey, but already LGD, they're satisfied with what they got. They back off. Sylar completing the drums, going for that utility early pressure build that we see from a lot of Gyrocopters now, and leaving way for maybe to be the hard carry. And now decision time comes, gods. 13 minutes in. It's basically a dead even game here. Only a 1,500 gold lead for Secret. Does he want the blink? Yes, sir, he does. What do you think? Is this going to work out?
Yeah, it seems to suit maybe his playstyle more. It allows him to be aggressive, go for kills, and as much as he does play more of that one position now as far as farm priority goes over Sylar, he loves to be involved in any and all action. It's the LGD way. If there's a fight going on, all 5 of your heroes are there, so gives him that initiation. Unfortunately, the window for using this item while Arteezy doesn't have BKB is quickly ending. Arteezy now just a couple hundred away, actually has BKB money, so that means it's not going to be quite as potent for killing him, but if anything, he wants to blow up the Dazzle. He wants to blow up the Witch Doctor. If you go on someone else, they're going to get graved and kept alive. If you can find a Dazzle or a Witch Doctor, that's an insta-KO.
Meanwhile, Secret want to fight around the mech that's been freshly purchased by Zai. Now up to another 700 gold. They don't have the level 2 Queen of Pain ult just yet, and they are rotating 4 all the way through the middle lane. They may run into maybe in a bad position here. 3 in the river. Blink back out. Well, the Blink coming in handy there. Now it's MMY's turn to run, but they don't have a tier 1 top. They get a little bit of vision. He's got a haste run. They both can escape here. LGD wasting a lot of Secret's time, and it looks like they should get out with no casualties. One more blink into the trees. The TP out. He's got it. Not using it just yet. They're holding for a relocated. They may even go in on Kuro, who's run right by MMY. The haste is there. The cast not going to bounce, and the commitment. Tether's back. They look to engage. The mech is in play, though. This could completely turn the fight. Not sure if LGD got their eyes on it before the fight broke out. Maybe a dangerous ball from the backside comes Yao. Rushing in with Sylar together. The call out. Doing work. Zai about to drop his ult. A double off the bat for Sylar. S4 forced to blink away. They get the tiny but heavy cost for that one, gods. 3 heroes down, including the Darkseer, who just completed his mech. And meanwhile, Arteezy looking for the trade as he goes from the tower mid. He's going to BKB Requiem this one. He does do a lot of damage. Brings down MMY, not respecting the Requiem, and they even gets the tower as well. When the dust settles, not a terrible trade for Secret, although it looked pretty bad at first.
Yeah, it looked bad at first. Great flank coming from LGD. Io and Tiny bought so much time for backup to arrive. Unfortunately,